are a huge part of our day today, and as a homeschooling family, we prioritize buying the physical books over the ebooks. But books can really add up, especially if you're keeping up with the new releases. You want to buy books for individual children who are on different reading levels, and just, all the little books that you think they should have. Well, hey, and welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, I am Shadiamond, a homeschooling mom to an 8, 6, and 3-year-old, as well as a newborn. And I used to be the one to buy my children books weekly. Now, at the time when I was buying books weekly, I had only 2 children, and we were doing like themes of the week. We were doing like special homeschool lessons. I was doing like the sensory bins with the books, sensory activities with the books. So books were a huge part of our day to day. I didn't really let them do a lot of screen time and stuff like that, so I didn't mind like spending the money on a physical book as opposed to them watching TV. But I quickly learned that me buying 2 books per week started to add up pretty quickly. And at that time, they were only like, what, 4 and 3? So imagine, if I had to continue that on now that I have 4. Enough of me talking. I want to share 6 ways that I'm able to find free or inexpensive books for my children. This is going to include all age ranges, as well as the physical version of the book or the digital version of the book. Because I know, you can read on the tablet, you can do the ebooks, you can do audiobooks and physical books. So let's just get right into it. Number 1 on my list is going to be to utilize your local library. The library is going to be top of the list always, because this is what saved me so much money over the past 2.5 years of taking my children to the library. I will say, before we started going to the library, I was buying all the books because I really didn't know like how to fully utilize the library. It was during COVID time, so we were not going out to many places. But once we got back into it, it became a weekly thing for us. So utilize your local library. They have so many books, and if you have one library that doesn't offer what you're looking for, you can go to other libraries in your area. I know for our county specifically, they have like over 50 libraries that we can go to check out different books. And the cool thing about most libraries is you don't have to go in person to check out the books. You can look for the books online if you know what you're looking for, put them on hold, and you go pick them up. As opposed to you always going trying to look from scratch and ask the librarian. It's also a good idea to take your children inside the library and let them pick their own books. But that's another video for another day, okay? Number 1, local library. Number 2 on my list is Libby. Libby is actually tied to the local libraries, and it is pretty much an online reading app where you can check out ebooks and audiobooks. So Libby usually offers the books for like 2 weeks to read, and you can always renew the book or return the book early, but it is associated with your library card, so no cost to you. They have many different titles, but the thing with Libby is it may be a wait time if the book is very, very popular. So that's the only downside, but for the audiobooks, it comes in handy. I don't have to do Audible subscription. I don't have to go pay for the audiobook. Usually I just check it out through the library. If I cannot check it out through the library, then we're going to wait on it. I'm going to try to get the physical copy, or I'm just going to wait in line on Libby for my turn, okay? Number 3 on my list is YouTube Read-Alouds. So I started utilizing these maybe a few years ago, like YouTube, because we have this math curriculum called Math for Confidence, and it recommends a book a week for like the 1st and 2nd grade level. And I was like, I don't want to buy all these books weekly. So I would type in a book title and on YouTube, and it'll come up with different videos of people actually reading the book. You can see page by page. It's really someone else reading for you, but it saves you the time and the money trying to figure out where we can get this book from. If you didn't prepare the night before, which I've done many times, you can just type it in, on your TV, on your laptop, put it on, and let that be your child's screen time for the day. So YouTube Read-Alouds is very, very good for that. Also, if you want a sneak peek of books before you purchase it, I've used YouTube Read-Alouds for that as well. But don't sleep. Do not sleep on YouTube Read-Alouds, okay? All right, number 4 on my list is going to be Amazon. So Amazon does offer, new books, but they also offer used books. So for me, if there's a book that I really, really want a physical copy of, I will go to Amazon, look for the used options or look for the other options and see what condition the books are in, and they're usually a fraction of the cost. Yeah, I think my baby. They're usually a fraction of the cost. So say the book costs $15 and the used version is $7. If I really want that, I'm gonna buy it used and just wait on the shipping. And what I've noticed for most of the books that are used, they are coming directly from Thrift Books. So if you don't want to use Thrift Books website and pay for shipping, do it on Amazon. Okay, number 4 on my list. What's that for? Number 5 on my list is to utilize your thrift store. Now this one is going to be a little bit different because you're not going to find a specific book, but if you're looking for like books for your kids to just get, I found like chapter books in there. I found like old like, can you pass me that book, the reading, 3rd grade reading one? Yeah, I found chapter books in there for less than $1. I found picture books for less than $1, and I've also found the 3rd grade like hardcourt reading book that I used to use in school for like under $2. So it's amazing. I'm not a thrift person, but I went in there that one day and found books in excellent condition, and I'm like, this is very good for parents who want to just build their children's library just to have books at home to read aloud. Check your local thrift store or consignment shop. But this is the book that I was talking about that was less than, it says $1.99, and I got it on a discount that day. So this is a McGraw-Hill reading book, and we used to use these in school. So you know, you can write your name and stuff right here. Let me get her. Yeah, we used to use these hardback books in school, and this is the coolest thing, writing our names in there when we first get them and then turn them back in at the end of the school year. But this one was less than $2. So the thrift store, if you're just looking to start building the library, but if you want something specific, then my next way. All right, moving on to number, what number am I on? Moving on to number 6. So we're going to continue with the used book version, and I'm going to recommend eBay. So the same way I type on Amazon looking for specific books for a discounted cost, the same goes for eBay, especially for the older version of the books. Like say for instance a new edition came out, you can find the book on eBay. Can you give me that human body book that I just purchased? For a fraction of the cost. So recently I purchased a new science curriculum, and it recommended me get the human body, my first human body encyclopedia by DK. On Amazon it is about $15, but on eBay I found it for like $4. It is in excellent condition, no marks or anything in there, so definitely utilize eBay. And my last tip for this video, which is number 6, is to wait on special sales from different stores or online. So say for instance Target is having a buy one get one free book sale, or buy two get one free, or buy one get one 50% off. I always utilize those sales to add books that we really want a physical copy of in our home to take advantage. The discounts do add up. So usually when Target is offering a sale, I see the same sale on Amazon for different books, and it's just good to take advantage of. Also during back to school time, I noticed a lot of book sales. During the springtime for curriculum companies, they offer sales. So take advantage of the special sales. There are different times throughout the year where books are on sale. You just have to find it and take advantage of it. And I recommend really to check the book out first to see if you actually want a physical copy, like utilize your library or Read-Alouds, or just, you know, reviews online about the book, and then take advantage. So sometimes I notice, like when we go to the library, my children are reading through books really fast, but they don't really seem to pick it up a second time. I know I don't need to buy that for the home library. But if it's a book that they constantly go through, or you know want to read about all the time, and then we get it for home. Also, like books like history books and stuff like that's really good to own in your home, so they can always refer to their history. For me, when it comes to Black history, we're gonna always buy those books for our home library, because if I don't teach it to them, then who's gonna teach it to them, right? Okay, here is the book that I got on eBay for like $4. As you can see, it looks like a brand new book, which it really is, but it was only $4. I didn't have to pay for shipping. It has like a little bending on the bottom, but it's in perfect condition. Page is still very crisp, and it was only $4. So if I had got it off Amazon, I would have spent $15, $16. But yeah, type it in on eBay. And then my last way that I forgot to mention, for the older books, there is another website you can use. It's called Internet Archives, I think. And this is where a lot of the banned books are, or the older history books. Yes, it's called Internet Archives. You can go to the website and type in a book, and then it'll bring out the ebook version, of course. Or sometimes you can even type on Google the book title PDF, free download. I found some of the older books where I can download it and print them off for my children to read, because I'm big on the physical reading instead of just looking online all the time or looking at screens all the time. But those are my top, what was that, 7 or 8 ways where you can get free or inexpensive books for your home. And as I said, I have an 8, 6, and 3-year-old as well as a newborn. But I'm really referring to the ages where they are learning to, well, reading to learn. The age where they start to read to learn, where they want to read on their own to find out more about different animals or whatever they're interested in. It's really, really crucial to get them an abundance of books, right? Whether it's going to the library to check it out weekly, or you're buying the books, or you're finding different websites to get the books. But when they start to seek out the information, we don't want to hinder them. We don't want to say, oh, we can't afford it, like it's a way around it, okay? But I just thought I should share that if someone was looking to, you know, adjust their budgets and to get their children more books, or just have them exposed to more books, whether they're watching it online, reading it online, or reading a physical copy. So I thought I was done with sharing my tips, but I do have an additional tips. This is for my moms who share online. Whether you consider yourself a content creator or not, but you're good with like photography, or you just like a specific brand. Something you can also do is become brand ambassadors for certain publisher companies. For instance, each month I get at least 6 to 12 books from Simon Kids, free monthly, that they send, and it covers a range of ages. So it goes from, you know, 0 all the way up to age 12 with the book selection. So they have picture books, board books, as well as the ready to read books, and they have chapter books. And so all I have to do is fill out my information. I do share on social media, so I tag them when I post the book. They're just looking for reviews. You don't even have to review. It's not like a requirement, but it's more so, you know, encouraged to at least share the book or leave a review. But we get books monthly, and it's been at least 4 or 5 months now. And imagine getting like 12 new books each month that you don't have to pay for. So if you're into social media, or you share, you know, your homeschooling journey or your kids learning journey, that's another avenue to where you can get free books. And these are free new books, right? These are books where we get the books before they're released to the public. So in the month of January, we got 12 new releases that had just came out, and many of them still haven't came out yet. So just wanted to add an additional tip if you create content online. And then another way to get like free or inexpensive books is also if you're a part of like a homeschool group, like a homeschool co-op. Many moms are looking to get rid of their old curriculum or old books that they've outgrown, as well as friends and relatives. So let me know if you have any other ways to get inexpensive books or free books. Share it in the comments, and I'll see you in my next video.